We're up in beautiful North Queensland, God's country. It really is an amazing place to be. We're actually in Innisfail at the show, but yesterday we were at Charters Towers listening to the stories from some farmers. Have a listen to this. This is really important. We have got to do something about rural lending and practices in this country. Have a listen, please.
One of the problems with agriculture, it takes a long time. It's not an overnight business. It takes, sometimes it takes 15, 20 years. And people don't go into the industry thinking they're going to make $1 million the following year. So it takes a long time to set it up. You fluctuate through seasons, you fluctuate through cattle prices, you fluctuate through the value of the dollar. All these things bear weight in the industry.
We come here today because blokes like me, who had found out that our banking system has become so endemic with criminals and with corruption that the assets you believe you own may not even be in your own possession.
We've been battling for years to try and get some notice taken of the plight of some of these graziers, and only recently the foreclosures on houses in Charters Towers, and I dare say in every rural community within the country.
Their words were, if they were in my boots, they would commit suicide. Yous have no idea of what is happening out there in the banks. I'm sorry, but it's horrific. You want to listen to how they can torture you for 3 or 4 hours. They twist your mind. At the end of it, you got no hope. You walk away with no hope. It's about 2 or 3 days later, you go to shoot a cow, and somebody will say to you, in your head it'll go, it'd be so much easier to shoot yourself. What are we supposed to do? How many people out there have shot themselves because they've been told the same thing as us? And I wasn't the only one there that day. There wasn't just me that heard that. I had a young fellow that was 16 standing there listening to that. I've got an older mother that was listening to that. And we're supposed to take that and sit back and say, no, it's okay. And there isn't a lawyer out there that's got the balls or the guts to stand up and do something. No one has, because they're the banks, they're untouchable.
Receivers are the worst, I think, of the whole deal, because they just come in, take everything they can and make as much money as they can and just basically devastate the property. And I had, bad experience with receivers there where they were trying to muster big cows with baby calves in the middle of November, December to sell. You just don't do that. I mean, baby calves would have died, mismothered. All that animal welfare stuff went on. And anyway, we got them off the place until after the wet season. But
you've got to remember that at any time, and I did talk to this particular bank manager about it, he turned around and told me, yes, at any time they can deem that your assets are below or value and they can foreclose on you whether you pay your payments or not.
So even if you're not in financial default or monetary default?
Yes.
Even if you're not in technical default?
Yes.
some of the bank managers, it's all about commission. And that's probably one of the issues with it. If you were just going to get paid commission, you don't care what happens at the end of the day with the loan. So if people get given money that they probably shouldn't have been given, it's all about why were they given that money? Because, well, he didn't mind because he's getting paid a commission on it.
They'll say to you they don't have to be qualified valuers. It's only the grass they value on. It wouldn't matter unless you've got a multi-million-dollar home on that place. Your house don't get valued. Your waters you put in aren't valued. Your fences aren't valued. And they don't have to have the valuation, like if we get a valuer, we've got to pay for our valuer and get it. But we can't have that. I've had valuations done and I'm still not even allowed the forms that them evaluation people have. Yet I paid for them, $4.5 grand. The bank then turns around and said, well, if we do the valuations, we don't have to be qualified to value. This is what's putting us into receivership, people who don't have to be qualified to value us. I was told for 14 months not to sell. You want to see a person go into receivership, tell a person that you're going to put them in receivership if they sell those cattle under market value. Now, it's impossible to sell cattle over market value when you're in the middle of a drought. 14 months. You want to see why we're sitting there just, yeah, the wolves are circling, but we're keeping them at bay, but we're barely keeping them there. Because when you really think about it, how do you bankrupt people? Just tell them not to sell their produce. And then add to it, you know, just add in there that, yeah, if you're in trouble, you can always commit suicide.
Well, you can see why we really must do something. And I want to thank the people who appeared yesterday. And what we're going to do is we're going to need more people to come out in Roma, Perth and Sydney, because we have got to fix this.